world searching for gaming knowledge comes the man, the myth, a legend in his own mind, Critical. Welcome back, guys and gals. Critical here. Today I'm bringing you a guide on Last Epoch, and today we're going to be talking Crafting 101. First thing you need to know is this game's got a pretty interesting crafting system. Let's go over the crafting items that we have in the game currently. They're supposed to be adding more, but what we have currently. We have the green ones, these green shards that are suffixes, the red shards, which are prefixes, so primary and secondary, and then we have shattering stones. You get the shards currently, the only way to get it is from breaking items down, and shattering stones, you can only get those from mobs. Now, unique items can't be broken down, can't be shattered, and nothing can be added to them. Any item that drops in the game, you can attempt to take the lower part. So on the upper part of this Doom Blade, you have the white, it says two-handed sword, and then in white, plus 20 melee physical damage, and plus 9 melee void damage. You can't take anything of that off. The only parts you can attempt to extract, and that's what you're doing. You're going to destroy the item and extract shards from it, is a plus 26% crit strike chance, plus 73% void damage. I'm so proud of that one. 20% of mana damage is leached as health, and 17% stun chance. Now this item isn't perfect, but it is pretty good. I have a T5 in my void damage and T3 in my leech. So it's the closest item I've had to all T5, period. You can pick up an item like this silver amulet. It has 9% crit. That's an innate ability on this amulet. It has one prefix, which is fire damage, and one suffix, which is health regeneration. Now, I could take this item and attempt to build on that, meaning I could add another prefix, which is the red shards, or I can add another suffix, which is the green shards. I could also take a amulet like this one that has no prefixes and no suffixes, and I can build the magic item that I want, which I think is really cool. Now, there's supposedly going to be some stuff added later in the game. Remember, this game is a pre-alpha demo. This is a good idea of what the crafting system is going to be, but the developers are still developing the game as they go along. Some of this information can change. They're supposedly going to be adding some stuff that allows you to use a crafting item that allows you to improve your chances of not damaging the item, or improves the effect of each shard that you're putting in. So it might have a better chance of shattering, but your chances of getting a much better item improves. This item has two suffixes and two prefixes, so I can't change anything. I'm not really going to use that. I mean, I don't need minion damage. Health gained on potion use really doesn't interest me. Cast speed and spell damage are pretty nice, but for all intents and purposes, this item's not doing me any good. Now, there's two ways that I can shatter it. Shattering it is trying to get shards from it. There's no guarantee you'll get any shards, and there's no guarantee to what shards you're going to get. I can put it in here and drop a shattering stone in and then shatter, or just to save some time, I can right click the stone, shift, and then click on top of the item, and I'll create the shards. So it's a little quicker way of doing it. Increased minion damage, not what I wanted. Spell damage. Now that one is one that I want. I'm going to line that up with my spell damage ones. Minion damage, not that I want it. So I got two of the minion damage ones off. Health gain on potion use. Not what I was really hoping to get off of those. Now this item is it's a weapon. On here it's got fire damage. It has a T2 fire damage. Of all the items on all the shards possible, I want the fire damage. All right, so now we're going to shatter it in the actual forge. Really doesn't make a difference. You're still going to roughly get the same thing. And I got 2 fire damage. Nice, you can see I got a lot of fire damage built up. Now, once again, here's another one. And I want to show you. I'm taking a weapon spec item, all right? If you look on this item, it'll tell you this is what it does, but it can be applied to weapons, wands, amulets, rings, and relics. I can't apply that to boots, and I can't apply it to my armor, but that's when I can apply it to. Now, health regen can be applied to helmet, body armor, belts, boots, gloves, amulets, rings, and relics. But I can't put that onto a weapon. So you can't put every single type of magical affix, prefix, or suffix onto just anything you want. It has to be the proper kind of the proper kind of prefix or suffix that matches that item class. This necklace already has fire damage and health regeneration. That's the amulet I want to build. I want to build an amulet that has all that stuff on it. My chances of getting T5, so you can have T1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Every time I add a shard to this item, the chance for a fracture goes up. So what is fracturing? Fracturing is basically you break the item. A minor fracture just locks the item. You can't change it anymore. It's stuck where it's at. A damaging fracture. All affixes are reduced by 1 to 5. If this creates an affix with a tier lower than 1, it's removed. So not only can I lock it, and not only can it reduce, I could actually lose some stats on the item. So it's kind of gambling. Think Diablo 1 and you're gambling, trying to get that item you're looking for, the perfect stat item. You're kind of gambling with this. You never know what's going to work. And try it and see what happens. A destructive fracture. All FXs are removed and the item is locked. So basically you just lose everything. The item goes back to white and it is basically broken. So we're going to try to make this amulet into what I want it to be. First off, we're going to add mana to it. All right. Why don't I take my boots off? Not what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click that in. Shift click is a thing. Lovely to have. And forge. Okay, so I didn't fracture the item. I'm up to a 9% chance for a minor fracture. The next time but now I've added a T1 mana. So I have fire, health regen, and mana on this item. Let's keep going. We're going to put spell damage on this item now. All right, now my item is yellow. I took it from a green item, 2 affixes or 2 prefix and suffixes, all the way up to a yellow item. And I've got fire, spell damage, health regen, and mana. Now, I'm going to try to get as high as I can on it. My chances of breaking this are probably going to be pretty good, but let's stick with fire. I've got a lot of fire shards to play with. We'll stick with that. Oh, I fractured the item. So it was a minor fracture. So the item is locked. I can't do anything with it. Well, not always true. I have this item. It's already fractured. And it got 0 shards out of it. Okay, we're going to try to build the amulet that I want from a white amulet, starting out with a 0% chance of fracturing the item, which means I can put this in there immediately. No fracture chance, but now I'm up to a 5% fracture chance. Let's go and put my fire damage in there. There we go. Let's put some health regen on there. And now let's add some mana to it. Okay. Now we're up to a 20% chance of the next fracture. I want you to notice, the last time I was doing this, the item had started out at green. Like if I put this item in here, it's sitting at green. I only have a 6% chance to fracture it. Let's go ahead and put a fire damage into it. I'm up to 11. Let's put a spell damage into it. I'm up to 16. What's the difference between these two items? All right, they both have 4 affixes now, okay? But because I built this one from white, it has a better chance to fracture. So I prefer to start from a white item, but if you can find a green or a blue, preferably a yellow that has all the ones that you want on it, it's better. But let's say you find a green, you can build an item from white, but you have a much better chance of fracturing it as you build it up. If you can get a green item that has some of the affixes that you want, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them, you can attempt to build that item the way that you want and have a better chance of completing it without losing anything. Yep, didn't get all the stuff back that I wanted. Let's get back to the silver amulet, but that was really important to show you. Find a green item or even a yellow item best that has all the stats that you want and just build on that. You have a much better chance of getting a good item out of it. All right, let's add some more spell damage. Ooh, we're up to tier 2. Let's add some fire. Ooh, I'm trying to get tier 2 on each one. Now you'll see I'm at a 25% for a minor fracture, meaning I'm gonna lock the item. I have a 5% chance for damaging fracture, which means I'm gonna lose some effects, maybe most of them, or I can even lose them all. It just depends on the RNG. Oh, the item fractured, darn. All right, let's go ahead and try to shatter it. And I got nothing at. Now I'm wondering if shattered, if it's fractured and you shatter it, you don't get anything out of it. This game's still really brand new. I haven't figured everything out on it. I'm gonna go full fire. I wanna get at least to a tier 5. There's 3, 4. Oh, and I fractured. I am not having any luck today when it comes to crafting and fracturing, but 20 spell damage and 50 fire damage is actually not a bad amulet. I would leave this amulet the way that it is. There's no reason to continue playing with this one and having a chance of fracturing it, or breaking it and taking the stuff out of it. I'm gonna try because I'm interested to see if we can get anything out of it. Oh, I did get something out of it. I got my fire damage, and spell damage. Okay, not bad. I want to bring up something else that I found. The Eternity Cache system. Hidden throughout the world are Eternity Caches, special containers with the unique quality of being immune to the changes of time around them. Remember, this game's got a lot of time built into it. And this is actually a crafting thing. Placing an item within the Eternity Cache, along with certain rare materials, too potent for mundane crafting. A player may return to the same cache hundreds or even thousands of years later. Remember the time travel thing we have here. Or even 1,000 years later to retrieve the resulting item. This is no easy task, for the Eternity Caches lie in places dark and forgotten, places exalted and under the watch of fierce guardians, or worse of all, may have attracted the attention of foes eager to snatch the treasure you have locked away for themselves. Which, it's kind of a cool idea. So you go into, like, say, a real deep dungeon, or into an area, then you have to fight your way in, and you find this Eternity Cache, and you're in one of the eras, and you put your item in, and those high value crafting items in with them, and then you can go and travel in time, come back to the same area. You're gonna have to fight through a whole new range of monsters. Maybe even the area changes some, but this Eternity Cache is constant. It'll always be there, and maybe the longer you go, the harder it is, and the more reward you can get. I think that is a really cool crafting mechanic that this game has. Once again, this dev team is doing some really cool things with this game. They have got some really cool ideas of how to use time to affect one of my favorite genre of the game, the ARPG. And right there in the crafting, use time as a crafting mechanic, which I think is just awesome. All right, guys and girls, my time is up for the day. Remember, the Kickstarter hit today. Do not miss your chance to get on the ground floor of this game. My time is up. I've been Critical. This has been a crafting 101 for Last Epoch. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Bye.